Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final broadcast of Week 11. My name is Reed Option, and I'm bringing to you the Sacramento Express and the San Antonio Fighters in this heavyweight bout, similar to the one last night, if you know what I mean. Let's look at the expert picks. San Antonio, 95% chance to win based off of the next-gen calculation, and all the analysts agree, looking like it's going to be a blowout, and we'll just hop right into it. I think, though that may come as a surprise on first glance, Sacramento has brought this upon themselves, although they have some players returning from injuries, including Jamal West. They have opted to bench most of their starters. Starting at quarterback, you'll see after this kickoff by Sam Pfannenstiel that the starting quarterback this week is rookie Kevin Cash. You have Casey Lashley starting at running back. Calvin Cordell has been bumped up, another rookie, into wide receiver one spot. A lot of substitutions on both sides of the ball for Sacramento, as they don't believe they have anything left to gain. Cash sacked on his first dropback by the, notorious Matt McDonough, former MVP. Coming up with the sack on the first play. Cash, second play. Dish out to Calvin Cordell, rookie to rookie. And that'll give us a 3rd and long. Sacramento has not clinched a playoff spot, and yet they are benching all of their players as they're about to go 3-and-out on this opening drive. On the opposite side of things, San Antonio hosting here at HEB Stadium. They've clinched everything but the first round bye. So really all they have left to fight for is a week of rest for the newly realigned 7-team playoff per conference, given the expansion of the league. Speaking of expansion, I don't believe I've commentated since the expansion. I've been rather busy. I have been simming these games, for the league, but no commentary for me until today. So, sorry to any of you that have missed my voice and my commentary. And I've chosen the most exciting game of the week, hopefully, to commentate. First down after 2 handoffs to second place in rushing this season, former rush leader Ramon Gooden and his relief back Davon Bronson. He was a stud in season 1 for Vancouver, I tell you that. Bronson with his second handoff of the day, this time a pitch to the left, gain of 1 yard, and you see the young stud Bobby Armour getting worked into the rotation. 2nd and 9. Davis dropping back. Little slot pass to Ahmad Banks. One of the many weapons Davis has at his disposal. This San Antonio Fighters team has gone on a streak, on an absolute tear, has been undefeated since God knows when. Season 3, I think. It was the championship that they lost to Virginia Beach. They've been undefeated since they took that loss, including against Virginia Beach in the regular season. And reason is because they always find ways to put points on the board no matter what they let up. As you can tell, Sam Pfannenstiel, Mr. Reliable, no doubt going to be kicker of the year, putting through that 32-yarder for 3. And he'll make them from close. He'll make them from far. I think he has 1 miss on the season. Shows just how great of a kicker he is. He's kind of usurped Nate Gilroy for best kicker in the league. Don't quote me. Don't quote me. But that's my take. Lashley 5-yard handoff. And this time Cash taking it for himself, trying to impress Isaiah Stokes. You can see Stokes loving it on the sideline. I guess our camera crew didn't cut to Isaiah Stokes. Cash, the 4th round pick for Louisville this season. traded to the Express. And that penalty after that gain will, for the first time this game, put Sacramento on the opposite side of the field. Lashley this time stopped for a loss. Loss of 4. Tackled in the backfield by Kiefer. Lashley, the former Omaha Spartan. Cash, another loss. Sacked by A.J. Pierre. If I'm not mistaken, that is this team's sack leader. If not him, then it is Kiefer who got the tackle for loss on the last play. 3rd and forever. Cash uncorking one to West. West in his first game back, gaining 38 yards on the pass. First red zone possession for the Express. Under pressure, Cash dishes it out to Whitaker. Second and short. Cash taking it for himself. Can't make it. B.J. Black, the second-year defensive end out of Auburn. Round 1, pick 1 last season. And that will not get them the first down. And Braun looking to tie this game up late in the first. Just barely makes it. 30-yarder, but kicks it over the net. Braun is hyped. San Antonio, as I said, undefeated, yet hasn't clinched that first round bye. There is another undefeated team in the Orlando Flames, who, if either of these two teams lose, the San Antonio Fighters or the Orlando Flames, that all but guarantees that first round bye for the opposite, for the latter. Davis dropping back, throws it away after seeing everyone covered. Great discernment there from the young yet experienced quarterback, Ryan Davis. Former Grizzly motions Banks over to his left. Got 4 wide receivers, 1 running back. Wide open is Daquan Fowler. And that catch and first down will wrap up the first quarter. All tied up, 3-3. New set of downs on the 40. Pitches it to Gooden. And Gooden will be just short there after that rush. Gooden really is, despite all of the talent on the offensive side of the ball, as you can see once again, Gooden, gain of 21, fighting for those extra yards. He really is the heart and soul of the San Antonio Fighters offense. Defense, obviously, you know, I'd be remiss to say it's not Matt McDonough on the defensive side. But if Gooden is ever to be injured, you know, gotta knock on wood. I don't want Cole to get upset at me for jinxing his player. You know, Gooden being injured would really show a difference on this offense. I mean, he's averaging almost 6 yards per carry this game alone. Boykin, another playmaker, getting a 22-yard gain there on 3rd down. Gooden remains on the sidelines. Bronson, handoff out of shotgun. And he gains one. There's Terrell Stanton, the deflected pass leader on the Sacramento defense. Top 5 in the league. Kimbrough on the sack there. First sack Davis has taken today. 3rd and goal situation. They will elect to pass out of I-form, and it's Fowler coming through, hitting Paydirt. And that will put San Antonio up by 7 following this Fan and Steel extra point, which naturally is straight through the middle into the hands of a lucky fan in the stands. That rhymed a little more than it should have. Another touchback from Fan and Steel. And out marches Kevin Cash. Cash thrown a little curl route, whatever that was, to Jack Whitaker. Incomplete. Second down. Cash to the outside. Incomplete. Intended for what looked to be Jaquan Winters making his way into the game. Perhaps taking over the starting reps for Lashley in his rightful spot. Cash. Another deep attempt to Jamal West, who, again, on the depth chart today, was listed at wide receiver 5. Looks like things have sorted themselves out in the natural order. Either that or GM and head coach Vast on the sidelines has decided to make the call to try a little harder. It looks like they're still in this game. San Antonio often having beaten their opponents into a pulp at this point in the game. Ramon Gooden getting a first down handoff. Gain of a dozen and then some. Trying to take away all hope from this Sacramento defense. Another 15-yard gain. And then he goes off to the sidelines, out of breath, to be relieved by Bronson. Another pitch. Oh, reliable, as they say. Gooden and Bronson, both 29 years old. Looking like duplicates of Derrick Henry, but here in the NAGA. Just stiff-arming defenders into the next dimension. And doesn't look like they are slowing down anytime soon. Bronson. 4-yard gain. With running backs like these, who needs to pass? Davis having the best quarterback rating in the league as of this point in the season, and Bronson gets the touchdown. First rushing touchdown of the day, and that puts up San Antonio by a comfortable 2-score lead with less than half of the second quarter to go. Typically, I do interviews with the owners leading up to the games. No interviews today. I know that there was a media statement released by Vast regarding his confidence that Sacramento will still secure a playoff spot and the division title for their division, despite a potential loss to San Antonio, justifying his depth chart adjustment. And of course, another media post by yours truly with the final power rankings of the season, putting none other than the undefeated San Antonio Fighters at the top. Looking like they might run it back once again. Jack Whitaker jumping up for the one-handed grab, trying to make sure he doesn't get subbed out for the first string Malcolm Bowman. Play action turned out to be costly. A.J. Pierre with his second sack. Second time he's tackled anyone today. That'll put them back 6 yards. Cash to the right. Leggett in between two defenders. That's a 26-yard gain. Leggett being acquired, another acquisition from Louisville on this team. West, touchdown! First career touchdown pass from Kevin Cash, and it is in the hands of Jamal West, the veteran out of Arizona, and the extra point is good. West being one of the long-time players of this Sacramento team back when they were the Capitals. He's on the last year of his contract. And if he doesn't retire, I expect Sacramento to throw the house at him. He is 30 years old. Still got a couple more left in him, I'm sure. Davis throwing to Fowler, 17-yard gain. They're going to let the clock tick. Both teams confident in their side of the ball. Davis only one incompletion today, and it was that throwaway. Davis to Fowler, 31 yards. And they call their first timeout, let themselves get collected. They didn't waste a lot of time coming out of the huddle. Davis, once again, deep. Boykin threading the needle. Ryan Davis putting on a clinic against this Express defense. There's no stopping this train. Fighters almost got a touchdown. Incomplete. Intended for Daquan Fowler. 2nd and goal. Clock is stopped. 2nd incompletion for Ryan Davis to the end zone. Almost intercepted. This is number 24. Don't know who that was. That's Stanton. Sorry, my bad. I was looking at names on the sheet and I missed the touchdown. Ryan Davis, 2nd passing touchdown on the day, keeping the Fighters at a 2-touchdown lead, and they get the ball at the half. So Sacramento's got to try to drive here and get another touchdown. But yes, that was Stanton on the deflection there. Like I said, team leader in deflections. Go. Cash. Plenty of time in the pocket to leg it. First time out expected? No. They're going to let it tick. 11 seconds. 10 seconds. Motioning a player. Cash trying to commandeer this offense, and they run out of time. What a catch by Malcolm Braxton, though. And we'll just hop right into the second half. San Antonio up 24-10. Cash has had a lot of time in the pocket, surprisingly. I mean, he's only been sacked maybe 2 or 3 times. And I'd say that has a lot to do with George Leonard, the right tackle, returning from injury, giving this rookie quarterback some time to think. Clearly a little too much time based off of how that first half ended. Go. Fighters in pistol formation, and Gooden has a lane on the edge. Can't break that tackle. Wrapped up around the legs. But he will be subbed out, unsurprisingly. That was Wilkerson on the tackle. Another handoff. Wilkerson once again coming up with the stop, and that is Liddell being subbed in. This time back to pass. Davis to the end zone. Touchdown. Daquan Fowler. Busted coverage. And I'd say that's from Wilkerson being subbed out. Marcus Liddell, the LSU defensive back, acquired from Birmingham, one of the expansion teams this season. I'm sure you've all seen a lot of the Bobcats if you've been watching the NAGA this season. Uphill battle, 3-touchdown deficit. Go. Schlosser in at fullback. Cash looking for him. Finds him for a 3-yard gain. Great read while being blitzed. Kevin Cash showing some glimmers here in his play. Winters not so much. Loss of 2 there, courtesy of BJ Black. But I'd say Stokes has a little bit of competition coming up this offseason. Whitaker, another huge gain. 26-yard catch. Speaking of depth, Malcolm Bowman and Jack Whitaker both proving to be tight end 1 material. Another tackle for loss for the running backs. I doubt we're going to see anything above 50 on the rushing sheet at the end of this game. With all these sacks, BJ Black, 4th sack for the team. First sack for Black on the day. Cash looking for the first down. Incomplete, intended for Leggett. And that will bring out the punting unit once again. Stephen McNulty boots it all the way to the 15. And Barrett bring it up just past the 20. Great effort there by Zaire Barrett. I believe Barrett's in his second or third year. Although we've got a bit of a retirement home, I wish I could bring up some graphics of some geezers using some walkers. This entire offensive line essentially is over the age of 30. You know, you have a couple recent acquisitions from the GFL to add some youth to this team. But even the linebackers are all mostly over 30. The defensive backs mostly over 30. Although the recent acquisition of Lamonte Jackson, one of the first user prospects created in this league, initially drafted to Portland, then traded to Iowa, then traded to St. Louis, then eventually winding up now on the Fighters at the cost of the rest of their future. But well worth it. Jackson, Bowens, Brothers, Lipscomb. I'm mistaken on Barrett's age. I think Barrett was just a big offseason acquisition, not a draft pick. Got a couple youngins in this defensive back 7. And I think it gives San Antonio the luxury of not having to hunt for UDFAs this upcoming season on the defensive side. I think it'll just be offensive linemen and a couple GFL poaches, especially given how young their quarterback core is. I mean, Davis and Ames combining for 24 years of age. San Antonio famously running with a very small practice squad. They pack light. Similar to the Brooklyn Regulators, formerly known as the Bandits, with their previous ownership stint, famously not wanting anyone on the practice squad. Shows confidence in your starting squad and how uninjurable they are, as we have seen no injuries so far this game. At least not on the San Antonio side of things. Davis, under pressure, strip sacked! Picked up by Lou Kingston, and he decides to dance in the middle of the field. What is he doing? What could have been a fumble 6? I mean, it's a turnover on downs regardless. Great job by this Sacramento defense coming up with the play, but Kingston, a little bit too much showboating there after the play. Whitaker, 4-yard gain. As the third quarter starts to wind to a close, Sacramento not in any better position than they were at the half. Allen with his first sack of the day. 5 sacks on Kevin Cash, and he will hike it before the quarter ends. Gain of 7, definitely not a first down. And in as short of a time as it took for Kingston to get done celebrating, it feels like it took that long for Sacramento to punt the ball back. I'm sure the young defensive lineman will be talked to by the coaching staff following this game. Gooden, handoff to the left, breaks a tackle, fights for a little extra, and has almost 200 rushing yards alone on the day, trying to fight for his second consecutive rush title. Him and Kaimani Moore really fighting it, trying to put up some historic numbers. Gooden once again on the handoff, gain of 5. And it looks like we'll have a touchdown vulture situation here potentially, with Bronson being subbed in pistol formation. It's like they're stacking the box 4-4 on the defense. Bronson, no gain. And will Gooden come in? Bobby Armour! We might have a Bobby Armour touchdown. Check the DraftKings odds on that one. Pitch to the right, Bobby Armour, touchdown. The second year back out of Savannah, Georgia. Graduated from USC. Was a late round pick and has been one of the many offensive, well, not many, one of the few offensive young studs that owner Cole really likes and has a lot of optimism for Armour, Calabrese, John Timmy, Michael Bruno, just to name a few. Bruno starting in place of injured Michael McCloskey today. Haven't seen a lot of Michael Bruno. Just noticed that. Tackle for loss there. Unsurprisingly on the handoff out of shotgun. Deep bomb. Can't haul it in with one hand. Whitaker trying to pull his signature move there. Though Kevin Cash not looking too shabby. 13 for 19 over 200 yards and a touchdown. No interceptions yet. I think that they have had such little time of possession that he hasn't had many opportunities to turn the ball over. But I got to give him credit. He's doing a great job for his first career start. Barrett stopped at the 35, and Whitaker, I guess he was a gunner on the play. Either that or a blocker. But the one tight end they have left is Tyler Harrington. Don't know who else will be subbed in to be a tight end 2 on 2 tight end formations. Likely Andrew Seagraves or perhaps an offensive lineman. No clue. No clue. Haven't seen this done before. Almost picked off. Davis not having an interception outside of the first 2 weeks of the season. Again, knocking on wood. I'm not trying to jinx him, Cole. It's been 8 weeks, 9 weeks. I mean, after this week, it'll be 9 weeks without an interception from the most efficient quarterback in the league, Ryan Davis. First and 10, handoff to Gooden. A unicorn just happened as he was tackled for a loss by Curtis. And no doubt, this run's about to be angry from Gooden. Or not. Gain of 3. With all of their subs in, Sacramento hanging in there. Hanging in there against one of the most formidable teams in the league. I mean, I consider being down by 4 touchdowns hanging in there. I mean, have you seen San Antonio's games this season? That's a rhetorical question. I'm assuming if you're a fan of the NAGA, then you've seen all San Antonio games. Now, just a little recap. Past couple scores for San Antonio. 42-16. 37-13. 27-10. 40-10. 40-6. 24-10. That one's not bad. 44-6. I mean, these guys are hard to stop. So I think if they hold them to 38, then that's a win, right? With your backups in, hold them to 38. I mean, you'd have to bank on a fan and steal miss here. But great ending to San Antonio's side on the... It's no good! I'm so sorry! I feel like Al Michaels. Every time Al Michaels would say something good about a kicker, they'd mess up. And I'm over here glazing fan and steel and saying, here's the ideal situation. It's like my call against Baton Rouge and Louisville in Season 2. Oh, my goodness. Cash on 2nd and 10. Whitaker drops the ball. And I think... this is a 4-down territory no matter what. But... yeah, it's about over. No turnovers for the Express. They forced 1 turnover on the Fighters. So, couple good takeaways from this game. Kevin Cash could be a career starter if he can place the ball where it needs to be. This might be a touchdown here. I'm getting a sinking feeling that we're going to see a Ramon Gooden touchdown. You just don't want to injure any of your players if you're San Antonio. You want to make sure everyone stays safe. No one breaks anything. Hold the ball close. We might see a fan steal field goal after all. We'll see. And it's a Gooden touchdown. There you go. Ramon Gooden rubbing it in the nose of Sacramento and of me. I was giving Sacramento the benefit of the doubt. Well, that is your average San Antonio score right there. The rest of this game doesn't really matter. Sorry to any red and gold jerseys that are in the stands that have likely left at halftime. If any of them are still left, they're exiting now. Looking forward, both of these teams are playing the closing games of the regular season. Sacramento taking on Fresno in Fresno, and San Antonio hosting Baton Rouge. Their divisional rivals to close out the season. And I'm not really paying too much attention to this game, but that should clinch a first-round bye for San Antonio. I believe the tiebreakers over their only other competitor, the Orlando Flames, it should all work out, you know, unless San Antonio loses to the Redbirds, which is possible. Nothing's outside the realm of plausibility. You know, and speaking of, I was glazing the Express for not turning the ball over, and there it is. There it is. Great, come up with the interception, Kyle Trotter. San Antonio is doing all this just to spite my positive words on Sacramento. Sacramento's trash. They're garbage. They suck. No offense. You did a good job, Vast, at running your season so far. And there goes Luke Kingston. I don't think that one will count, given it was on a clock control play. But there you have it. San Antonio fighting their way to another 30-plus point victory. Ramon Gooden, player of the game. And I'd give the defensive player of the game more so to Trotter or Pierre, one of those two. Great quarterback stats all around. Davis, not doing a whole lot, but didn't have to. 3 touchdowns on the game. Cash, great job. Winters, Lashley, and Cash and Schlosser combining for an average of negative 2.5 yards per rush. Yup. Jamal West, though, over 100 yards. And the touchdown. Got a couple sacks there. Curtis, Kimbrough, and Spruill. 2 tackles for loss from Curtis. I'd say Curtis is the defensive player of the game for these guys. Jacob Bandy, user prospect acquired from Delaware, with a defended pass. Good job. Spruill with a forced fumble. Kingston with a recovered fumble. And hopefully not a real injury there at the end. No kick returns or punt returns. That might be a first. That might be a first. Wow. And then Braun, you know, 1 kick, 1 extra point. 5 punts from McNulty. And here we have it, 155 quarterback rating. Okay, Ryan Davis. 9.5 yards per carry. Ramon Gooden trying to get that rushing title. We'll definitely have it in his conference. I think Moore has it in his conference, and they can settle it at that. They will likely bench their starters next week. McDonough, 5 tackles. Pierre, 2 sacks. Trotter with the interception. Just a team effort all around. I mean, all these different categories have different names at the top. So the Fighters have the Avengers on their team. And there it is. Fannin Steele ruining his chances to have the Kicker of the Year title. Of course, I'm being facetious. And here we have the team leaders. Great look here. Enjoyable time commentating this game. I did it for you, Cole. You too, Vast. You too. Did it for you too. Sorry for calling your team trash. 64 plays for San Antonio, 44 for Sacramento, negative 4 rushing yards. That's a screenshot. That's going to be memed. But you know, you may not hear my voice, but I'm always present in the Discord channel. Feel free to join. Link in the description. My name is Reed Option, and here at the NAGA, we will see you next week. Take care.